What if I told you that one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful countries on Earth is losing its people faster than some war-torn nations? This is New Zealand, a place that, to most Americans, looks like a dream you could step into. Towering mountains roll into endless green pastures. Lakes shimmer in shades of blue you'd swear were edited. It's so breathtaking that Hollywood used it as the stand-in for Middle-earth. But behind this picture-perfect scenery lies a question that feels almost impossible. Why is everyone leaving New Zealand? With just 5.3 million people, New Zealand feels less like a nation and more like a tightly knit community at the edge of the world. The air is clean, the government is stable, the healthcare system works, and crime is almost a foreign concept. Kids grow up surrounded by nature, families can walk safely at night, and corruption barely makes the news. By almost every metric, this country should be a model for modern civilization. Yet something isn't adding up. Despite all that peace and prosperity, thousands of Kiwis, that's what New Zealanders proudly call themselves, are packing up and leaving. They're not fleeing war or chaos, they're leaving opportunity behind, searching for something their homeland no longer seems to offer. It's a strange paradox, one that confuses economists and breaks the hearts of locals. How can a paradise built on stability and beauty be losing the very people who made it what it is? Maybe it's because paradise, when isolated, can also feel like a cage. In this story, we're going to uncover what's really happening inside this isolated paradise and why so many of its people are choosing to walk away from heaven on earth. Imagine this. More than 1 in 10 New Zealanders no longer live in their own country. Let that sink in. Over 500,000 people, a population the size of Atlanta, have packed up and crossed the Tasman Sea to start over somewhere else. On paper, New Zealand is a dream. Low crime, high wages, clean cities, free healthcare. But despite all that, its people are leaving faster than almost any other developed nation. And the ones leaving aren't retirees chasing the sun. They're the young, educated, and ambitious. The engineers, nurses, teachers, and software developers who should be building the country's future are instead booking one-way tickets to Australia. The result is a quiet hollowing out. The economy still grows, but only because new migrants are filling the gaps left behind. Immigration has become a patch for a leaking workforce. Yet this creates a strange loop. Many of those newcomers, after gaining residency, eventually leave too, usually for the same place everyone else is going, Australia. It's just a 3-hour flight away, but for many Kiwis it feels like another world. Bigger cities, broader industries, higher ceilings for ambition. Over time, this open-door relationship between the two countries has turned into a one-way street. New Zealand sends its youth and talent across the sea, and in return receives older Australians with money to spend, but little to contribute to its labor market. Demographers call it brain drain. To the people living it, it feels more like opportunity drain, a slow, steady outflow of potential that no policy has been able to stop. If life in New Zealand is so good, then why are its best and brightest walking away? Here's the uncomfortable truth. New Zealand's economy was never built to compete on a global scale. It's not because Kiwis lack talent or ambition, it's because of geography. This is a nation so far removed from the world's major markets that even its closest neighbor, Australia, feels like another planet. To put it into perspective, New Zealand's entire population is roughly the same as that of Sydney, one city, not even the largest in Australia. That means New Zealand doesn't just face the challenges of a small economy, it faces the challenges of being a small economy at the literal edge of the map. Distance here is more than just miles. It's higher shipping costs, longer supply chains, and fewer international connections. Building globally competitive industries becomes nearly impossible when almost everything, from steel to semiconductors, has to travel across oceans just to get there. This isolation seeps into every part of the economy. In most regions of the world, finance is a country's natural path to wealth. Yet global companies rarely look to Auckland when cities like Singapore and Sydney offer deeper markets, better infrastructure, and closer proximity to Asia's booming economies. And it's not just business. Politically and economically, New Zealand is deeply intertwined with Australia. The two countries share so many agreements, treaties, and labor laws that almost anything an international company wants to do in New Zealand can be done more efficiently and more profitably from across the Tasman Sea. What's left behind are the industries that have no choice but to exist there: tourism, local banking, shipping, agriculture, and small-scale services. They keep the economy alive, but they don't grow it. There's simply not enough scale to foster high-tech innovation or the kind of creative industries that thrive in larger markets. It's a beautiful country, but beauty doesn't pay for bandwidth, and isolation doesn't build empires. For a country blessed with wide-open landscapes, endless farmland, and more sheep than people, you'd think housing in New Zealand would be affordable. Yet, it's not. In fact, New Zealand has some of the most expensive real estate on the planet, pricier, square for square, than homes in Tokyo or London. How does that even happen in a nation with so much land and so few people? The answer lies in what the country's economy has quietly turned into. Agriculture may still be New Zealand's pride, among the most productive on Earth, but modern technology has stripped farming of its jobs. Vast mechanized operations run on machines instead of manpower. That means fewer paychecks, fewer careers, and fewer opportunities for younger workers to stay in rural towns. So where did all that economic energy go? Into houses, literally. Selling homes, financing homes, renting homes, building homes, and regulating the buying, selling, and financing of homes now make up nearly half of the entire national economy. Property isn't just a sector here, it is the system. The consequences are predictable and painful. Home prices have soared far beyond what the average Kiwi can ever hope to afford. A generation of young people has been priced out of the dream their parents took for granted. The government tried to cool the market by banning foreign buyers, a move that sounded bold but barely moved the needle. Foreign investors had only been a small fraction of buyers to begin with, and the law didn't apply to Australians, who remained the biggest foreign purchasers. For many wealthy Australians, New Zealand is the perfect playground, a postcard-worthy escape, safe and scenic, where luxury homes cost less than in Sydney or Melbourne and come with generous tax advantages. Every new wave of Australian retirees or investors adds fuel to a market already burning too hot. To its credit, the government has introduced new tax rules meant to discourage speculation, and prices have dipped slightly. But it's like lowering the thermostat on a house fire. The flames are still there. The deeper problem is cultural. In New Zealand, land has become both the safest bet and the surest path to wealth. The nation's prosperity is literally built on buying and selling itself. And that's what makes the situation so tragic. In a land of stunning space and natural abundance, people are running out of room to live. It's easy to assume that people are leaving New Zealand because houses are too expensive, but that's only half the story. The real reason they go isn't about cost of living, it's about opportunity. Across the Tasman Sea lies Australia, a country that, in many ways, feels like New Zealand's bigger, louder sibling. The two share language, culture, even the same humor. Yet economically, they could not be more different. Australia's cities are magnets for ambition. Sydney's financial district hums with global banks. Melbourne's tech and creative industries buzz with life. And Brisbane keeps adding new jobs faster than it can fill them. For young New Zealanders finishing university or starting a career, the math is simple. The same degree or trade that earns a modest income at home can pay nearly twice as much in Australia. There are more companies, more industries, and more ladders to climb. The paychecks are bigger, the paths clearer, and the promise of success feels tangible. Education plays a role too.
Australian universities are larger, more numerous, and often ranked higher globally. For Kiwis, tuition costs are the same as for local Australians, and government student loans are available on equal terms.
So every year, thousands of New Zealand students head across the sea, not as international students, but as neighbors chasing broader horizons. Many never come back. This free movement is possible because of one of the world's most open bilateral agreements. Citizens of either country can live, work, and buy property in the other with almost no restrictions. It's as seamless as moving from one U.S. state to another. No visa walls, no language barriers, no cultural adjustment period. And while this sounds like a success story of friendship and freedom, it's also the reason New Zealand's talent drain never stops. The best and brightest leave, replaced by new migrants seeking opportunity in New Zealand, who, once settled, often follow the same route to Australia a few years later. It's a loop that keeps spinning. People in, people out, wealth flowing one way. New Zealand has become, as one economist joked, the waiting room to Australia, a beautiful layover for those passing through on their way to somewhere bigger. Reversing New Zealand's population drain won't be simple. Politically, economically, even emotionally, the country is tied to Australia by more than just trade agreements. Nearly 1 in 10 New Zealanders now lives across the sea. Any move to tighten that bond would be deeply unpopular with voters and diplomatically awkward with one of the nation's closest allies. So for now, the government walks a delicate line. It can't close the door to opportunity, yet it can't afford to keep losing its young. But not all the movement is one way. Quietly, steadily, many Kiwis do come home. They return with new skills, global experience, and often with savings that find their way into small businesses, new technologies, or family farms. These returnees bring more than money. They bring perspective, the kind that helps small nations punch above their weight. New Zealand still has advantages that most countries envy. Its debt is low and its finances well managed, giving policymakers room to invest where it matters. Its air is clean, its streets safe, and its landscapes, those same snow-tipped mountains and glassy lakes, remain among the world's most valuable assets. That beauty attracts investors, tourists, and retirees who see in New Zealand what so many others overlook, a place that works. In the end, maybe that's what keeps New Zealand special. It can lose people, but it never loses its value. A small, quiet nation standing firm at the far edge of the world, remembered not only for its scenery, but for its resilience. A lonely paradise, yes, but one still capable of writing its own future.